Pete with Fillet Away Fish Mats, and today we're going to talk to you about injection molding. So the first step in the injection molding process, you have material. So the material always comes in a pelletized form. If we look inside this Gaylord here, it's just the pellets of the raw material. All material needs to be dried before it's injection molded. You have to get the moisture down to a certain level. I don't know what the numbers are in this material, but it's very low moisture. So you run it through what's called a dryer. It gets vacuumed up. This is a vacuum hose right here. It goes into a dryer. Every material's got a set dry time length and temperature. So for example, if it's 2 hours at 200 degrees, the material gets vacuumed into the top of the dryer and it comes out the bottom of the dryer. So you have a big enough hopper that you're not sucking wet material into the mold press. So this might hold 2.5 hours worth of material, and it's constantly refreshing itself. As you see right now, it's vacuuming material into the top and it's drawing it out the bottom. So once the material comes out of the dryer, it comes into the press itself, and it comes into this hopper up top, which is mounted up on what's called the barrel. So inside these guards here is a big steel tube that has heater bands on it, and inside has a screw. So the material falls into that screw, and as that screw turns, it generates pressure. It gets reduced down in diameter, so when you take volume and you reduce it, it increases pressure. That's where we get the incredible, I mean, you're talking sometimes up to 30,000 PSI coming out of the nozzle. So as we follow along here, the material falls down, comes through this nozzle, or through this barrel towards the tip where the injection mold is. It's getting heated the whole time and it's getting compressed the whole time. Right, here we are, we're at the press where the fish mat mold is running. As you can see right here, it's a 350-ton press. That's 350 tons of clamping force. So, what's that, 700,000 pounds? Yeah. So basically it's a toggle clamp. It's a hydraulic toggle. So as it comes down, that's how they can generate that type of force on there. It holds that mold shut. This part has a huge frontal area. It's 14 by 19. So all that pressure is trying to blow the mold back open when you're filling it. So if we come over to the mold itself, you can see that big mass of steel between the green platens. That's the injection, that's the mold. It's got cooling lines to maintain the mold temperature. You can see on top here. Right now the material's setting up in there. And now the mold opens. The operator will remove it. And it shuts, cycle again. When the mat's removed from the press, then there's a few things we need to do to get them ready to ship. The mat itself has to be trimmed. The material flows in through this little nub right here called the gate. That needs to be trimmed. The mats are laid out to cool with a fan blowing on them first, and then move down the line just to ensure that they're cool before they're packaged. They're dropped in this little fixture here to staple a label on. And then from there, just packaged up for shipping, distribution, whatever.